I'm Susan Taylor with Scripps Health in San Diego, California. Many people think fatigue, dizziness, shortness of breath are simply part of aging, but these symptoms may actually be signs of aortic valve disease, which can be serious. Joining us to talk about aortic valve disease and how to replace the aortic valve with minimally invasive surgery is Dr. Curtiss Stinis. He is an interventional cardiologist with the Scripps Clinic Medical Group. Doctor, thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you, Susan, for having me.
So go into a little bit more detail. What is the aortic valve?
Yeah, great question. So there's four valves in the heart, and the aortic valve is the last valve in the heart where all the blood leaves the heart. So we have this little plastic model to kind of show you the heart. If I virtually open it up, the aortic valve is actually hiding right behind in there for all the blood to leave the heart.
And then what is aortic valve disease?
Yeah, so the aortic valve is a one-way valve that's supposed to allow blood to freely leave the heart to go to the rest of the body. And two things can happen to the aortic valve. It can either become narrowed or it can start to leak. The narrowed valve is much more common, where calcium will build up on the aortic valve and gradually make it smaller and smaller over time. That's the medical term for that is aortic stenosis. And that's the more common form of aortic valve disease. But there are also folks that develop a problem where the valve starts leaking, and instead of a one-way valve, the blood will go out of the heart and go right back in. And over time, that blood going back over and over will cause the heart to enlarge and become weaker and ultimately fail.
So what causes aortic valve disease?
So the more common problem, the narrowed aortic valve, we don't exactly know why it happens. It tends to happen as we get older, so it's more common in older population. And some of the risk factors for development of the narrowed valve are similar to the risk factors for developing plaque and calcium in other parts of the arteries in the body.
And who is most at risk?
The most common individuals are those over the age of 65, or folks that have had a family history of valve problems, or if there's been any issues with exposure to radiation to the chest, like say for treatment of cancer in the past.
And what are the symptoms?
Yeah, so for the aortic valve, when it becomes narrowed, most people, the most common concern is fatigue, or most common complaint is fatigue, shortness of breath when they're trying to exert themselves. Some people can faint or have lightheadedness, or start to develop symptoms of heart failure, like fluid retention, swelling in the legs, just not having the energy they had in the past.
And so how do you treat aortic valve disease?
Yeah, so aortic valve disease is something that's not well treated with just medications or conservative management. The only solution that's been devised that seems to work is to replace the valve with a new one. For many years, the only way that could be done was with open heart surgery. And that still is a very viable, strategy for many patients. But as we get older, our risk factors for surgery go up. And so having another alternative way of replacing the valve without doing open heart surgery is obviously a attractive option for older folks.
And then talk about what is TAVR?
Yeah, TAVR, great question. So it's TAVR, stands for transcatheter aortic valve replacement. In simple terms, it means placing a valve inside the heart without opening the chest or doing traditional open heart surgery. And the way we do that is we make a small incision, typically in the groin area, and we pass a plastic tube called a catheter up to the heart, and we insert a valve that way. And the old valve is still there, it just kind of gets stuck open, and the new valve fits right inside. And that replaces the valve without doing a major operation.
And what's the downtime for that? Do you actually spend the night in the hospital?
Yeah, so the vast majority of patients spend one night in the hospital. They're observed for any complications, and if all goes well, they typically go home in the late morning the following day.
And then how quickly can you return to your normal activities, such as walking or swimming, running, playing pickleball?
Yeah, great question. So for 5 days after the procedure, we want folks to be on kind of light duty so they can walk and they can actually resume driving and doing some light duty activities. No strenuous activity for 5 days. After 5 days, we don't typically put any physical restrictions on people, so they can exercise and travel at that point.
There was a fairly new device. How does that work?
Yeah, so as we mentioned earlier, two things can happen to the aortic valve. You can get a narrowed valve or you can get a leaking valve. And so for many years, the only option we had was to treat the narrowed heart valve. And that actually requires the calcium in the valve to serve as an anchor for the new TAVR valve. However, people that develop a leaking valve often have no calcium on there, and so there was no anchoring mechanism. So the only option for those patients would be open heart surgery, but if they were not suitable candidates, there was really no option. There are 3 little tabs on the side here that we call locators, and those will fit right down inside what we call the cusps, right around the valve. And it helps to seat the valve in position and provide some anchoring. And this valve is like a giant spring. When we open it up, it grips onto the tissues and it stays put. And this gets, this allows us to replace the valve without open heart surgery for people that have no calcification.
So who's a candidate for this?
The specific target patients for this device are patients that have a severely leaking aortic valve that are not good candidates for surgery. They may have other medical issues or be of a very advanced age, and we don't feel that they would be appropriate candidates for surgery. And so those are the folks that this is FDA approved for.
So this comes up through the groin, just like the TAVR procedure does. And does the person spend the night in the hospital for this as well?
Yes, so the recovery is essentially identical to the recovery for a standard TAVR procedure. The device, as I mentioned, is FDA approved for patients that are at high risk for surgery, but we're also doing ongoing clinical trials with this device to see if it will be as equally as effective as surgery for healthier patients as well.
Doctor, there's lots of reasons why somebody would feel tired or dizzy or short of breath. When should they go see a doctor?
That's a great question. It's always hard to know. What I would say is if the symptoms seem really out of proportion to other folks in their age range, if the symptoms are persistent, they continue to happen day after day, or if there's a consistency to them where they happen more when they exert themselves, I would be more concerned, especially if a spouse or loved one brings it to their attention and says, is something not right with you? That's more typical of a significant underlying medical condition than just normal aging.
Any final thoughts, doctor?
I think it's an exciting time, for valvular technology, and I think you're going to see more and more of these minimally invasive procedures as time goes on. And there's a lot of smart people working on a lot of new technology. So I think it's an exciting time.
Doctor, thanks so much for being with us. We appreciate you taking the time.
My pleasure. Thank you for asking.
If you want more information on aortic valve disease and how to replace the valve with minimally invasive surgery, just click on the link or go to scripps.org/videos. Want more critical information about your health? Please subscribe to our Scripps Health YouTube channel and follow us on social media at Scripps Health. At Scripps, we're here for good. I'm Susan Taylor. Thanks for joining us.